We have Kendra G here, who appeared on Earn Your Leisure. We're going to check out this video titled, "Has Social Media Created Unrealistic Expectations in Relationships?" I have to keep up with the Kendra G saga just because it's like a train wreck and you know how it's all going to end. Unless, of course, she drinks the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Now, this question on unrealistic expectations.
Okay, let's get that out. So
let's talk about that.
So a lot of the women, I'm gonna start off with the women, but I'm gonna go to the men too, because a lot of the conversation is focused on women with unrealistic expectations. So I gotta tell you this, my show changed me. I'm not the same person that I was 5 years ago. I've talked to at least 15,000 single people now. So now I learned a thing or two.
Hold on. Are you admitting, and let me know if you guys think this is actually her admitting that Kevin Samuels was right? And it took you 5 years of you doing the same wrong thing over and over again, ending up unmarried, no man in sight, to figure that out. This is not just about Kendra G, it's about every other chick out there who finally and eventually learned this too late. Do you agree that this is an admission of I was wrong? You know, women don't admit it. They can't do it very plainly. You have to read between the lines.
Most women want a man of you guys' caliber. You know, you guys, I'm gonna give you your kudos. You're successful men, you're attractive men, well-spoken men, black men, you know, do well, you do for the community. They all want you. Now, it doesn't matter if she's rich or poor, fine or not that attractive, they all want you. Now, we know the truth of the matter is you guys represent, really when it comes down to it, not the larger portion of the masses. You guys literally might be 10%, might even be less than that. You might be like the 5%ers, the 1%ers, but it doesn't matter because 100% of the women all want you. So what happens is, what I've learned is social media has given people insights to other people's lives. So every girl wants a man that makes bare minimum 100K, has to be attractive, faithful, prefers no kids. If she has kids, love her kids like they are your kids. Treat her kids like you created her kids. Show up for her when she needs you to show up for her. Go to church with her every day. Don't ever speak to another woman. Always be available, but work so much that you can fulfill my lifestyle. It's crazy.
Kendra G's laughing at herself. No, you're a part of that group of people. Like, why is she laughing like she's not a part of that group of people she's talking about, bro? She's like, they're crazy, aren't they? Yeah. You're a part of that.
I'm saving listen, my next division is the AI guy. I'm going to make the 6'6" AI human-like man because it's literally the only man that represents this. And I think that
Didn't I just talk about making an AI dude? Well, I told you guys, one of you guys should do it. A couple people reached out to me. I don't know, man. A lot of, I'm not saying, I'm not delusional, guys. I know she didn't get that from me. I'm just saying a lot of people are seeing that these women are delusional. They're going to fall for anything, probably AI too. But I'm hearing there's going to be coffee drunk here without credit given to KS, who tried to help her in the very beginning. I'm not going to pause it much any longer. Let's keep listening.
What I've come to learn is women get really offended because they use settling. I hate the word settling because if you say, oh, you're saying I'm not good enough for a man that makes 100K. It's like, and their argument will be, well, I make that or more. So it only makes sense for me to require a man that makes what I want or more. Logically speaking, I get that. I don't have a disagreement there. But the part that they're missing, which matters the most, is that man doesn't date the same. A lot of times the wealthy man or the man that has the money, he doesn't want a broke girl, but he has enough. He goes into it knowing he's paying for everything, right? So even though you have a certain lifestyle, this man in his mind, I still got to pay for everything. So your money doesn't matter that much as you think it does. Sometimes the man, and y'all can speak to this because you guys are men. I don't want to talk for men. And these are you represent these men and you have these friends. Before I even answer, you guys tell me the answer. Do men that make a lot of money, do they care about the woman's money?
No. It's a yes and no question. No, nobody is looking at, okay, but it is beneficial if somebody got something going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that kind of goes to the, you don't want a broke girl, but now you said no. Why'd you say no, Ian?
Because if I know with my acumen and investing in business, if I care about her enough, I can get her whatever bag she needs off my acumen.
Okay. So that means you could, so for you, so what's most important to you? I'm not even sure. Are you in a relationship? If so, I'll back off.
She's trying to date this man. Are you in a relationship? Are you looking for a wife? Man, I know. I'm a fool.
Okay, you are.
But you can ask your question.
Let me ask you a question, because last week you said if something is draining.
That's a dangerous question to ask a man of means. Are you in a relationship? You know how many chicks looked at their phone who are watching him? I'm not going to say he has them in a rotation, but who knows? You know what I mean? That's just a dangerous question. He's still trying to recover from that, bro. Am I in a relationship? Are you serious?
You financially, you should
let it go. You gotta let it go.
But you just said you could finance somebody's life.
I didn't say finance. I said with my acumen, I can give them the tools to be able to go get their own bag.
Oh, so you teach them how to trade.
Yeah, and for sure. Like
I got it.
AKA, I'm not a trick.
Thank you for clarifying.
This is great journalistic integrity, but for real, like even in this situation now, knows how to trade futures, knows how to invest, does real estate. Cool. So it's a lighter load, and there are certain conversations I can have, which I think is really dope about these conversations, and then go over to talk about the hang side or the German DAX. Like, I think that's a dope vibe. Have I taken a stray cat off the street and tried to clean her up before? Sure. Not my bag anymore, though. So
you won't do that anymore. So she got to have something. Okay.
She has to have a passion, for sure.
So I know I'm here to be interviewed, and look, I always be turning into the interviewer, and I'm going to answer the questions, but I don't want to miss this moment.
This is how Kendra G carries her relationships. I know I'm here to be a wife, but I always turn into the head of the relationship. I know I'm supposed to play the background, but I like being in the spotlight.
Because you guys are like I said, you are the men that most women describe. So it'd be best just to hear from y'all. So Ian, what matters most to you when it comes to seeking a woman partnership?
Peace and love.
Peace. Why would you say peace? You know you will get peace if you don't cause chaos. If you don't cause chaos,
This man says peace and Kendra starts yelling. I promise to stop pausing it, but I can't.
Women won't make the house crazy.
Part of that is true.
That's not true. Some people are toxic. Some people are toxic, and no matter how good you are, that
they love the drama.
The fact that they're still toxic.
Yep.
Okay, so when I think of peace, I think of, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I haven't called, like I called you, you didn't answer the phone all day. And I couldn't be able to get in contact with you all day. At 9 o'clock comes, you're not gonna have peace. Cause I'm like, where the hell was you all day? Is that a justifiable, non-peaceful moment? Or in that case, would you say, no, I still deserve peace?
No, I would say my bad. I was trying to line up something for InvestFest. I'll do better next time.
Rashad, why you laugh?
That's why you say it like that. Like, no, I still deserve peace.
No,
well, everybody. All right, let me say this. What you choose to put up with is up to you. That doesn't mean that you should disrupt somebody's peace. I think I should have peace no matter what I do.
No matter what happens.
No matter what happens. If I don't call you for 6 weeks, I think I still deserve peace. You deserve
6 weeks. Crazy.
You deserve to be happy. No. But what I'm saying is, hear me out.
That was a wild point. He said 6 weeks. 6 weeks. So hear me out. Hear me out. Hold up.
Now that's up to you to have boundaries as far as what you will accept and what you won't accept.
Yeah.
So if the behavior is unacceptable to you, then you can make a decision to no longer be in the situation. I always look at it like I'm not being with somebody that I got to argue with. Because if I got to argue with you, then there's issues, right? We don't need to argue. If we have to argue, we don't need to be together.
Facts.
Okay.
Because it's really about approach.
I get it.
Because if you say, hey, I know you're busy. I'm busy too. I care for you. It's 9 o'clock. I would love to hear from you if you have a break. Only take a minute. I can handle that. But the attitude of why the being caught? No. Gotta go.
Okay.
First violation is wrap this shit up.
Okay. Two things can be true though. So Rashad, I agree with that, right? If you have to have boundaries and if the actions are not aligning to what you want to accept, back away. But when it comes to the peace part, what if the conversation is about to not cause peace? Like you gave an example of 6 weeks. I haven't heard from you, Negro, in 6 weeks. Like, what's up with that? Some men will say just you asking that conversation is taken away from peace.
6 weeks is it depends on it depends on what you're working towards, right? And this is why I always say context and knowing yourself is so important. You have to know what you want as a man. If you're the type of dude who's just going with whatever, then you're going to have whatever happen, right? You're going to have chaos happen. If your goal is to establish a family and marriage is the goal, then going without talking to somebody for 6 weeks obviously isn't going to contribute towards that being successful. It's just not. You can sit there and argue about how it makes sense. It doesn't work. You have to talk to somebody if that's your goal. Now, if you're just casually dating, it's whatever.
Because why would you even bring up you haven't talked to me in 6 weeks? And that's the part I can't get with. Like, because you can ask the question that then causes the argument. So she shouldn't even ask the question that is not right. Like, okay, I haven't heard from you.
No, you shouldn't ask. You know why you haven't heard from me? Because we're on a 6 week basis. If I'm just saying, I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me. I'm just saying hypothetical. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying in general. I'm just speaking in general, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so if this is like not your girl.
Well, there's a thing called the relation. There's a marriage,
right?
There's an engagement. There's a relationship.
Then you got the work.
There's dating, and then there's a casual vibe. There's a casual vibe. Yeah. Too many casual vibes think they're
want the wifey treatment. Yes,
that's facts.
You're not in a relationship. You're a casual vibe,
that's facts.
You signed up to be the casual vibe.
That's facts.
So you got to hold some responsibility here.
That's true.
My God,
they're 100% right. What do you guys think?
First of all, I'm happy we got clarity because I knew that's what you meant when you said peace. Because all men say this, and really, what peace means, don't bring up a conversation that will take away from peace. So, as Rashad said, even though I haven't called you in 6 weeks, you should know in your mental why I haven't called you in 6 weeks. So when I talk to you 6 weeks later, you shouldn't ask the question, where have you been in 6 weeks? You should decide whether A, to answer the phone or not answer the phone. Is that what you're saying is the answer, Rashad?
Yes, because you haven't called me in 6 weeks either. And like I said, I'm not talking about me personally. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
It takes two to tango. So if we on this situation where neither one of us communicate, well, you haven't called me in 6 weeks. You haven't texted me. You're not texting me every morning saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Da da da. So we both have an unwritten. Yep. You know what it comes down to a lot of times. Nobody ever talks about this aspect of it. A lot of women have passive aggressive attitudes because they don't communicate, and then they want somebody else to communicate. What you want, you should do. That's what I learned in life. If you want something, you should do it. So if I want you to talk to me every day, I should talk to you every day, right? If I want you to, like, too many women they just don't talk. They don't say anything. Kendra's telling herself, "Be quiet. You're supposed to be quiet right now." You just nod your head. Anything they expect the guy to do something, the guy's not doing it, and then they feel away because it's like, damn, like you're not doing this. Well, you're not doing it either.
Yep.
Well, a couple of things. I want to go back. I know we're just giving a hypothetical scenario with the 6 weeks thing, but in that case, what if she did text you like, hey, how you doing? And then you don't respond to 6 weeks later? Because let's say she gave the alley-oop, she reached out to you last, and then now you come back around. And 6 weeks is big, but it could be 3 days, 4 days, or whatever. That causes a conversation of, let's talk about this. And I think that men don't like the conversation of when you did something out of pocket, this is going to take away. We're not going to have a peaceful moment because I got to call you out on this. Now,
Oh my gosh. If he hasn't gotten back to you in 6 weeks, then he does not take you seriously. Right? There's no serious conversation. There's no, to you, a lot of chicks look at these situations and think to themselves, well, we need to talk. We need to talk about where we're going. You've seen where we're going. He said, hey, you're a 6 week type of chick. You're not an everyday type of chick. What does that mean? He can only bear to stand you for 6 weeks. Now, instead of hanging around and praying and hoping one day he might just somehow stop drinking coffee and marry me. Instead of doing that, you should accept it for what it is and move on.
how I approach it could be deciphered. I could agree with that. But you can't just say, don't ask me where I haven't been in 6 weeks. You know what it is, Rashad.
No. You don't. No. Let's put it in perspective. First of all, if you text somebody and they text you back 6 weeks later, there is no relationship.
There's no relationship.
Right.
Okay.
You should have enough common sense to
Read
know
the room.
this isn't a person that's taking me serious, right?
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is more so on the lines of we don't talk at all, and we might talk once every 6 weeks. So in that situation, you can't hold somebody accountable. You can't hold that person accountable because you've accepted that you yourself have signed up for this casual. It's called casual dating, right?
Mhm.
You yourself have signed up for it. So I just think that there's too much blame that goes on men in this society.
Here's the deal. Transparency, I respect, right? So if you are a guy who's always honest and saying, this is what it is, I'm not really looking for nothing serious.
No. That's part of the problem too.
Thank you. And I was hoping he would catch it because I was gonna say it. Look at her. She doesn't like the fact that he was wagging his finger like that.
It's not it's not about transparency.
No. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
The real Kendra came out right there. That's why she's still single. It came out right there. She said, "Oh, time to be feminine, be soft."
Not always about transparency. It's because most people are not communicating. This is what I learned in life. Most people don't communicate, and then what ends up happening is that there's assumptions that's made based off of actions. So most people are not saying this is what it is. Most people just go into a vibe, and then it plays out how it plays out. Now
That's a mistake, though.
That's some bullshit. No, I gotta jump in. That's some bullshit, Rashad. Let me tell you why. Because you can't blame the woman then, because now she's going off of hope, right? Because if a guy is selling to her, right now I don't want anything serious, but this can grow into something. I really am feeling you. He's planting the seeds that more is to come. So this woman, whether it be right or wrong, she's going off of his words, and that I don't respect. But if a guy is transparent and says, listen, right now I just can't, I really can't give you all that you want, but listen, I don't mind spending time with you when I can. I can respect that. The no conversation, the no clarity, you cannot get mad at the woman because she doesn't know. And now you're telling her she shouldn't even have the conversation.
Listen, man, if you're out here dating, you have to accept the fact that dudes are going to run game. They're going to run game on you. Not every man has the guts, or call it the honor, right? Because here's what's crazy. I actually would take the approach of keeping it real if I had that mindset. If I had that mindset, I'll keep it real. But not every dude's going to do that. Some dudes are going to wait till they get what they want out of the situation, and you have to know that as a woman. You have to know that. The problem is these chicks want to sleep with these men, and then when they get hooked mentally, because women aren't able to separate love and sex, right? They start falling in love with these men and they don't respect their biological nature. They end up in situations like this that are messy when you should have been looking at them and being more conservative, strategic, intentional. Watch a man's actions, not just men. Look at most people. Look at their actions and not their words. Sure, words have a place and there's some validity, but at the end of the day, you have to look at people's actions. Do they match? That's the advice. But women want men to say, oh yeah, men need to do, they're not. They're not going to keep it real. They're going to use you the same way that you use them for coffee dates, the same way that you have the guy in the friend zone who you know wants the cheeks. But you sit there and go, well, that's not what I want, but you know what he wants. But you still waste his time knowing that he's sitting there waiting for the day that you finally may give him a chance and marry him, so on and so forth. Women do it too. That guy, that simp who's taking that friend route, he's naive himself, right? Sitting there and hoping and wishing that one day she's going to take you out of the friend zone and take you seriously and somehow be attracted to you. It's not going to happen, bro. Same thing goes for this whole entire situation.
But what about the times when it is communicated and then they still feel away?
That's the part I agree with. If it's communicated, that's respect. Like now you know what it is. He didn't lie to you. She didn't lie to you. Now you can make an honest decision on how you want to proceed.
By that time, they've already slept with the dude. They're in too deep.
But what Rashad said kind of is what most men do. They kind of keep it cloudy. They don't tell you all the way that I'm not really into you. This is not going nowhere. They kind of keep it,
of course,
like, level of no. This has the opportunity of growth. So women
look at them both looking down. They're like, "Yep, guilty." They're like, we both
will sit there because most women are hopeless romantic, and especially if it's a guy they really would desire to be with, right? Like you are the type of guys that women are going to be hopeful for, but that's not right. You got to be honest with her in order to get the right reaction from her because she deserves that. And I think then you can't get mad.
Most women are not hopeless romantic. Most modern women are delusional. Men are hopeless romantics. Men think that a woman will sleep with you underneath a bridge if she loves you to death and ends up realizing that she probably will leave if she's angry, sad, or upset, or if you aren't providing financially, right? Men are the ones who love without the same level of expectation and effort that women expect. That's the truth.